Good afternoon and welcome to the Knit Shift. My name is Lara and today is Sunday, June 18th, 2017, and this is episode 91. If you're new here, thank you so much for checking out my podcast today. If you are coming back, thank you so much for sticking with me through a few weeks of absences around these parts. I can talk a little bit more about that later, but I'm really glad to be back recording and talking to you guys, so thanks for watching. There's so many amazing knitting podcasts out there, and it really does mean quite a bit that people choose to watch mine, so thank you very much. Show notes can be found at theknitshift.com. I am on Instagram as Lara Mahalski. I'm on Ravelry as Yarnstormer, and there is a group for the podcast on Ravelry. If you go to the groups tab and search for The Knit Shift, you will find us. We had a knit-along finish up in the end of April, I believe, and no knit-alongs going on right now, but I'm hoping to do one within the next month or two, so stay tuned for that. I think that's it for administrative stuff. So I have 2 works in progress to share with you and just a little bit of stash enhancement. So let's get to it. I know I've been away for a month, and it's not because there's been a ton of knitting content. I guess if you are on a tight timed frame, this is the episode just for you. So I have 2 works in progress to share with you. I will show you my sock whip first. This is a sock I cast on in anticipation of going to see Wonder Woman a few weeks ago, which is amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's so empowering for women, and it's goosebump inducing just to see a lady kick so much butt on film. So highly, highly, highly recommend. Really fun movie. So I cast this on because none of my other socks were at the point where I could continue knitting stockinette on them for some time. They're all right by heel turns. So I cast on this beautiful rainbow opal sock yarn. It's a 75-25 merino, well, it's probably not merino, it's a wool nylon blend. Classic opal sock yarn. And here is the sock. It's this gorgeous self-striping rainbow colorway. I love it so much. It looks really good on camera, if I may say so myself. And I'm knitting these, I believe these are size 1 needles. I know they're Chiaogus, but yeah, size 1 or a 2.25 millimeter. So I haven't touched these in a while. This has been my purse sock for a little bit, but I just haven't been knitting a ton lately, but when I do, when I'm out and about, it's on this sock. So this is my standard sock recipe, casting on about 36 and increasing every 3rd round until I hit either I think this is a 64 stitch sock. I'll probably pull the yarn from the other end of the ball when I get to the heel turn, so to preserve the stripe sequence. So yeah, not much to say about this. I saw Wonder Woman 2 weeks ago, so there hasn't been a ton of knitting on this since then. And the only other work in progress I have to share with you is a shawl I'm knitting. My most recent episode, I shared with you that I was knitting the Curious Handmade Shawl Society shawl. Its name is escaping me right now, and I'll put it up on the bar here. But I decided to frog that. I had missed a few stitches and my stitch count was off, and the lace was just a little too complicated for what I needed at this point. In my summer, I've just got a lot going on, so when she published the second shawl in the Shawl Society 2 series, I was like, oh my goodness, this is the one for me. It's stunning, it's simple lace, it's exactly what I'm looking for. And that shawl is the Sprites Fen shawl. And it's a lot of garter and stockinette, and then there's lovely feather and fan. And so here is what it looks like. So there's eyelets and feather and fan lace. Still right about here. I haven't made a ton of progress, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping to pick it back up today. This is a color departure for me, you guys. I normally don't knit in neutrals, but I'm really, really loving this. It's a half pie shawl. It's a crescent shaped, half circle basically is the shape of it. And there are these, I've done a couple feather and fan sections already, and I have done some garter, and I'm about to start some more feather and fan. So it does stretch out quite nicely. I think this will block out lovely. And I am using, I believe these are size 6 needles. I think that's a 4 millimeter. And the yarn I am using is Yoth Yarn on the House. And it's the little brother base, and it's an 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon, and the colorway is shiitake. And I have 2 cakes of it, so about and I'm really enjoying this. Not much to say beyond that, and I'm carrying it around in my Nikozuki Knits bag. So that's it for my works in progress, and I do have one bit of stash enhancement to share with you. This showed up in the mail as a surprise Friday or Saturday, so just a couple days ago. And this was a gift from my friend Lennis, who has started to dye yarn in her spare time. She's not selling it, I don't know if she has plans to, but she's really talented at it, so it was such a thrill to receive a skein of yarn she dyed. This is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon yarn, and it is this bright, awesome minty green with speckles in it, and it's just stunning. She knows I love green, so thank you, Lennis. This was such a surprise and a great treat to receive in the mail. So yeah, that's it for my stash enhancement. I've been gone a month from the podcast, and I just don't have a ton of knitting to show for it. I guess this moves into the chatter, the end of the podcast segment. Like I said, this is going to be a brief episode. But I've just had a lot going on. Not everything that I care to talk about with you guys right now, but maybe eventually. I'm fine, everyone's fine, but it's just been a lot of tumult in my life, and I just haven't really felt like knitting a lot lately or filming the podcast. I've been busy. I manage the 2 reporting interns at the news organization where I work, and it's been a very busy start to having 2 interns. The second intern started June 5th, so she's been here the past 2 weeks, and it's been so fun, and they're really amazing, and it's just a lot on my plate on top of other stuff that I do. Gracie, my dog, was sick for 2 weekends in there since I last recorded. She has a very sensitive stomach and was really sick a couple weeks ago and had us up quite a bit of time in the night, and had accidents, and just, it was not great, but she got over it pretty quickly. And then it happened again a week ago Thursday. So we were up all night Thursday night into Friday with her, and oh my gosh, it was just not fun at all. So she's on the mend, to a vet visit later, and $210 spent at the vet. She seems to be okay. Her white blood cell count has been elevated at every vet visit recently, but it's always been when she's sick, so it could be because she's fighting off infection, or it could be something more serious like cancer. But she is going to be 12 in a month, and I'm not about to go on a hunt to find out if it's cancer, what kind it is, how can we treat it. I'm a realist when it comes to my pets. I'd love for them to live forever, but I know that's not how this works. So she has lost a little bit of weight, and she's definitely sleeping heavier, and doesn't want to walk as far on our walks, which is a bummer. But then again, it is summertime and it's kind of hot out, so I don't want to walk that far either. But I've just been spending a lot of time with her and Josh, and you know, trying to just make the most of it, because you never know how much time you have with your pets. So I'm just trying to enjoy it, and she's sitting here sleeping beside me. Yeah, and I've also had 2 6-day weeks. I worked each of the past Mondays. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but my days off are Sunday and Monday, and I had to work the past 2 Mondays, so 6-day work weeks added to my workload. It's just been really tiring, and when I have a 1-day weekend, I just kind of want to zone out and not do much. So I've been in a bit of a knitting funk, and in fact, I barely knit in the past week. I basically took a week off and didn't touch my knitting, which is a real rarity for me. I hate even admitting it, but I just haven't felt like it, and then it stresses me out that I'm not knitting, because I know it's something I love, but why don't I want to knit right now? Am I never gonna knit again? You know, it's just so silly and ridiculous. I just need to recognize it's a phase, it's not forever. We all go through periods of our life where we're more or less into our craft. But if you have any tips on getting your knitting mojo back or your yarn mojo back, let me know. I haven't even been watching podcasts for the past 5 or 6 weeks. A, I haven't had the time, B, I haven't really wanted to. So it all kind of goes hand in hand, all of this knitting funk. I've also been going to the gym more. I've really tried to get back into it. I go 4 days a week. Well, last week was a week where I had 3 morning appointments, but I still got to the gym and I got it in 3 times, and same for this coming week. So, and I've started doing more weightlifting. I took a real full hour weightlifting class recently, which was awesome. I did it on Thursday and I think I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. So I've just been, that's kind of where my attention has been lately, and it kind of has been since March, since I got out of physical therapy when I had my back injury. Yeah, it's just kind of been where my interests have been in the past month. Knitting's not gone forever. I know it won't be, because nothing relaxes me the way knitting does, but I just, I get really sad when I don't want to knit that much. So if you guys have any tips on getting the mojo back, please share them with me in the comments or message me on Ravelry. I would love to hear them and give them a try, because I really miss knitting in my life, and I've missed recording the podcast for you guys. I'm glad to be back this week. I can't promise I'll be back every single week here on out, just because, again, till I get that knitting mojo back, I don't have a lot to show you, really. Stay tuned for my appearances, as random as they might be, and hopefully I will have more to show for my time next time I record. And I think that's everything from me. I talked about all the random life stuff I wanted to talk about. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for bearing with me again. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.